brought 720, Kalamba brought 24, Gemulok brought 8,000. In day 2, they had brought in. It would not have been fair to return.
But my friend, the second will not agree, my friend. You clearly have said that you had a meeting with the cooperatives in December 16th, isn't it?
Yes.
On December 16th.
Yes, sir.
And you are told them that each is required to bring 10
And they say
per day.
agreement.
Who is that who would go to take mangoes from farmers and bring 40 when they know that they are required to let in only 10?
That is breaching the contract.
And number two, you as an officer, as the one in charge, you want to tell us that you are so lenient, you are so good, so godly, that you say, oh God, mangoes have already been picked, so let me just take in the... I mean, we have the law to be followed.
Chair,
That again.
very important, Chair. Because
I have just read your document, and you have read the computation of all those figures. Are those figures the cooked figures or the real figures? Because I understand we have two figures. We have the real figures and the cooked figures. Which figures have you read?
CEO, as you respond, I have something based on what you have submitted to this committee. That is raising on the meeting that you had on the 16th of December. A meeting that you made an agreement with the cooperatives on the modality of supply. And one key requirement for admission of supply was the delivery was supposed to be accompanied by duly filled and signed farmers list witnessed by the ward agricultural officer at the ward of origin. This is my question to you, and you have said that you have told us that this form had a pre-marked price and it was supposed to have a stamp by the ward agricultural officer. This is my question to you, Mr. CEO. Other than, because you've told us you checked, you found a queue of lorries and you checked if they had the farmers list, and you have confirmed to this committee that truly they had a farmer list. This is my question. Other than the farmers list that you checked from the lorries that were supplying mangoes to the factory, what other measure did you employ to ascertain the origin of this supply?
Thank you, Chairman. Allow me to start with the question of the figures. Which figures are we working with?
yes,
The figures that we are working with are based on the farmers list, the wage report that we have, that confirms what we received, what was delivered, and that forms the basis of payment after verification. That is, I believe, the true note in terms of figures. In terms of asking what other measures did you employ to ensure that the supply was from Makueni? Chairman and honorable members, when I joined the authority in September, one of the things I learned was that mangoes is a political season, and that there are certain things that must be done. As an authority, and in the meeting that we had with the ward agricultural officers and the cooperatives, part of the agreed thing and commitment that we got from the ward agricultural officer is that their stamp will be the basis of us accepting the documents. Because as an authority, I was made to understand, and I know that we do not have a budget to go outside and verify. We depended on two things. Per the contract that we signed with the cooperatives, is that farmers can only supply through the cooperatives. And secondly, for the cooperative or the farmers list to be brought to us, it must be stamped by the ward agricultural officer. The ward agricultural officer to us was at the center and front for the verification of supply. Once the stamp of the ward agricultural officer was there in the document, I feel as an authority, we could do nothing about subsequent documentation.
Chair, on that question, there's no clear response.
Let
Let us give the response. Chair.
Just what the former CEO has responded, it has not been very clear. Maybe I can repeat it to you. There is a ticket number 2, weighing number 2, as per this document, of a registration vehicle KCY 151U, supplier number 2. The driver was driver number 60, Alex Mutua, from clerk number 1. The supply was 9,980. That is what was supplied. The receipt, the stamped document, which you are purporting to have followed, contains 13,000 kilograms. So, which document have you utilized to tabulate those figures you have told us? Because this is the document which was used for payment from the ward officer, one Agnes Bisso.
Thank you.
Let's have the mic to Honorable Ndolo.
Thank you. As we proceed, it is good also, we would like to know from the board and the CEO that, one, the document we are using here, it is a document that came from you, which has the farmers list as per the consignment that you received on 8th and 9th. And it is good what Mheshimiwa Mutunga is reading. It is a document that came from the board. And your primary role, as the CEO has narrated, was to verify whether this mango came from Makueni. And the basis of that verification was based on the form you have submitted. That is the farmers list. One, did you verify those forms to confirm the mango came from the farmers in those particular ward? Two, do you have the officer who was verifying the documents here with you at the gate? Because that verification is very key to us. We would like to know, yes, he verified, because such an anomaly from the form which is being read here by Mheshimiwa needs to have been seen. You have also said, after noticing, after the outcry, you set an ad hoc team. I think the team was meant to do also further verification to establish the mangoes you are receiving are actually from our farmers in the particular areas. In that line, because if you own that, there is an attention I would like to draw in the same form where such anomaly cannot pass the eye. Yeah. So can you tell us whether this document, this farmers list you have submitted here, really came from Kalamba? Proceed.
Thank you. And through the chair, to answer that question, I would like to take my honorable members through our process of receiving mangoes at the factory. So when we contracted the 7 suppliers, we, of course, as the CEO has put it, we gave them a daily schedule. So what happens at the gate is that once a driver arrives with a consignment of mangoes, they are able to register at the gate and they give a farmer's list. A farmer's list is the first document that we actually check before we even want to know how many tons that you have. Then according to order of arrival, the driver then is able to go to what we call quality checks. At the quality checks, again, we have a pre-inspection list, or rather a pre-inspection checklist that is done by the quality guys. And before they admit you, you have to give the farmer's list that is duly filled, stamped, and signed by the Ward Agricultural Officer. The reason why we engage the WOWs through the Department of Agriculture, as again the CEO has put it, is because we do not have the infrastructure to go all the way back to the field. And I think this is allowed because we are anchored under the Department of Agriculture. So we use the extension services to be able to ascertain that this is done. So for our verification, the farmer's list is actually our first document that we check. So once we receive a farmer's list that has whatever we have said, there is a signature, a stamp, and date from the world of origin, the lorry is now able to go to the checklist. Once it has fulfilled our check for quality, which includes maturity, disease, sunburns, and all that, then the lorry proceeds to the first weight, and that is where we get the weighbridge receipt. Whatever is on that farmer's list might not always be actually the weight of the lorry, and this is actually evident from what Honorable Member you're saying, because you see the estimate there is around 13 tons. When you open the same weighbridge receipt of KCY 151U, you will find that the first weight is 16.6 tons. This is the weight of the lorry plus the mangoes. When it goes to the second weight, okay, when we do the first weight, then we go to offloading.
The difference now.
Yes, during offloading, we are able to do further sorting, and we reject mangoes that do not meet our specifications. Because remember, during the first quality check, we only do sampling, but the actual offloading now is what informs what we actually receive. So after sorting, the lorry goes back to take weight 2. The weight 2 of that lorry is 6.6 tons. When you take the clean weight, it is 9,980 kilograms. And that is what goes to the invoice. And that is what we pay, and not what is on the farmer's list.
Then that is too different with what was paid.
I want to appreciate that information, Chair.
I want to appreciate that information. Now, here there is the forged document, another receipt, bearing the same names, the same numbers, the same figures, except that 4,000 weight is cancelled to 980, bringing now the 998 tabulation. We have two documents bearing the same information. The suppliers, the farmers were Judy Mwende, Caroline Kina, and Maureen Titus. That Maureen, Judy had supplied 4,000, but you cancelled to 900, to a figure 980. Caroline remains 6,000. Maureen Titus, it remained 3,000 from the previous document. Both has different weighing measurements, kgs from the weighbridge. They have attachments. And both was from Kika Cooperative. And just the same vehicle, it is the same vehicle. It is the second supplier. It is
a document they don't have.
Honorable Chair, protect me.
We can share the document.
Protect me, Chair.
So that we are on the same level.
Chair, the document I'm holding, the receipt from the weighing machine with the same registration, KCY. It is from County Government Makueni, the Kalamba Food Processing Plant. The registration number KCY 151U, the supplier number 2, just similar to the other one. It has a difference of 9440 kgs. So now I am worried because it is the second vehicle, the same registration, 2 different vouchers, 2 different figures with the same suppliers. So why is that confusion?
And should, after sorting,
should it increase or decrease?
Thank you. I'll take the second first.
Maybe now I can raise my issue. Chair, Honorable Member for Emali Mulala is reading a document that, to me, it appears the CEO and the acting CEO don't have. Do you have the document he's reading?
That's why I asked if you own the document.
Because if they don't have the document, it's very difficult for us to proceed.
Chair, let me maybe supply the document to them and report this. On 10th, Chair, this document I'm reading was stamped on 10th January. The same document was with the same driver, same registration, the second vehicle, it was also the same vehicle which was recorded on 8th.
What is the origin of the document you have, Honorable Member?
Chair, you can have it.
It is a document they submitted, I think, during the Agriculture Committee findings. That is one of the documents, the farmers list. So they are the ones the source. You it is the source.
They don't have it.
Wow. When you get
Also, Chair, as you supply that document to them, she has indicated that the first document to check is the members list. Okay? I want to take you to Gemlock Fruit Producers Cooperative, and named by Eric Mongela and Leonard Chok, who are not members of that cooperative society. But they supplied under that name, and they indicated they are from Bitini Ward. And I know one is from Kachivani, which is in Emali, and the other one is from Welfare, which is in Emali. And they are not members of Game Law. You can note the name Eric Mongela and Leonard Kyoko. Thank you.
Honorable members, we are, we are mixing issues. And as I said, we need to be methodical. We shoot this question before they answer. Another member should answer.
So many questions.
No, you have to wait for us to exhaust the first question, because we were on the first question of the oversupply. Before we exhausted, member for Emali came up with the issue of the
Overpayment.
Yes.
Let's proceed.
So let's be methodical.
We've analyzed with this one from member of Emali, then get to that of Abalai.
On the first issue of oversupply, from where I sit, we have no answer. Mr. MD, former, just honor that kuna sarakasi. We proceed.
Chairman, respectfully, I beg to present an alternative view. In that, we were confronted with the question of, do we return mangoes from Makueni or do we accept them?
Mr. CEO, I think it's very clear to every one of us that you told us, based from the meeting that you had on the 16th of December, you made an agreement with the cooperatives that every cooperative is supposed to supply how many tons of mangoes per day? How many tons of mangoes per day?
10.
10. Yeah. Then on the 8th of January 2026, how many tons of mangoes did you receive?
50.
50. The 50 tons of mangoes were received from which cooperatives?
From three cooperatives
From three cooperatives instead of 4 cooperatives instead of 4.
Yes.
Instead of 7. Okay? The 4 that supplied, which one was within limit and which one was outside the limit that you had agreed?
On day 1, Makuo had supplied 25,000.
From where?
Yes. No, let's just listen. 25,000 tons. That is 25 tons. 25 tons.
25.
Excess of 15.
Excess of 15. Kika had supplied 9 tons, 9,980 kgs.
It was within.
Mulili Chale had supplied 10,900.
900. In excess of 900.
Excess of 900. Gemlock had supplied 3,200.
Below. Day 2, on the 9th.
Day 2, Makuo had supplied 36,000. Kika had supplied 15,000. Makueni fruit brought 21,000. Mulili Chale brought 26,000. Gemlock brought 8,000. Zakika CDDC brought 720. Kalamba fruit farmers brought 24,700.
The third day, CEO.
I'm trying to, it's not summarized.
Before we get to the third day, Mr. CEO, are we in agreement that there was breach of contract based on the information you have given on the 2 days? For instance, on Makuo was supposed to have supplied 10 tons on the 8th of January, but instead supplied in excess of 15 tons. And on the second day, they supplied in excess of 26.4 tons. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Was there a breach of contract?
Yes, there was.
What supported the breach of contract?
In terms of documentation or in terms of?
You have a cooperative that you've made an agreement that they supply you with 10 tons in a day. But instead, they supply you excess. Why do you accept the excess?
Chairman, respectfully, again, Chairman, the question of accepting excess was based on an understanding or my fear that had I returned these mangoes and turned them back at the gate.
Mr. CEO, what was the reason, Mr. CEO, what was the reason for the agreement for the respective cooperatives to supply 10 tons?
So in short, Mr. CEO, what he is asking is what I wanted to ask. The agreement to supply 10 tons per cooperative was arrived at collectively.
Yes.
Is that so? In a meeting?
Yes.
What about the decision to allow extra 10 per day? Was it your personal decision or you consulted and agreed and minuted like you did when you agreed on them?
Chair, was there a work plan?
Of course, the work plan is there, that 10, that is the work plan.
Yes.
You supply 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. So, and we agree that each is bringing 10, 10, 10, 10. And then they bring extra. And out of your own volition, out of your own decision, you allow more than 10. When that decision had been made collectively.
Chair again, and then the following day, Chair, the following day, he accepts, let's say the first day, he accepted anyway, right? Then how come the following day, the same cooperative does more than, in fact, it doubles what it brought yesterday, and the same CEO says now, you know, we cannot block these mangoes. So jana ukaelewa, leo ukaelewa, na kesho kutwa ukaelewa, yani wewe ni kuelewa tu. What you planned in the 16th of December, you cannot implement. in January.
Na sio usitu convince ya kuwa mtu anaweza beba, anajua na I'm required to submit 10 tons. Then anaenda ana buy more than 10. Ana bring more than 10. Anafikiri atapeleka wapi? Ni lazima alikuwa ameambiwa wewe leta maji.
So that we can be clear, CEO. The decision to supply 10 was collective,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
The decision to accept
More.
excess, was it collective or individual?
The decision to accept more was based on the numbers of rollers
No.
that were there.
No, I'm not asking
And
about
it was
based.
individual. It was individual.
Yours.
Thank you. Proceed.
Yeah, can we go to the next issue that President addressed?
Let's go to the next issue.
About documents that are not tallying, and what I say, let me bring out my guess about the 4,000, 6,000, and the way is very different. I bet I can guess what happened. This is a consignment that is coming from one person. In a situation where we have a farmers list with 4 farmers, they would weigh from the farms and say, Jonathan Kimongo, yako ni 4,006. Joseph Mutuko, yako ni hii. But in a situation where all that consignment is mine, whether from whichever source, I don't need to weigh. I can approximate, this is like 4,000. Because the way when the list is long is to ascertain ni ngapi imeingia kwa hiyo lori ya huyu na ni ngapi imeingia kwa huyu. But when I know all this consignment is mine, I will just say it's 4,000. Na ndio ukienda kupima inakuletea kitu kingine. Na ndio unaona you approximate, you just say this is roughly 4,000. Even me when I'm selling mangoes, ikiweko hapo, I approximate hii ni kama 2,000. Anaenda zangu, anaachia mfanyikazi hapo, anakuja akipima, ikikuja 2,100 najua iko sawa. That approximation is what led to these full numbers. Unaona 4,000 exact, unaona 6,000. Lakini ikienda kupimwa ni kitu kingine. So CEO, this gives credence to the allegation that some of these mangoes were not being sourced from individual definite farmers.
Again, Chair, of the same. Chair, you find that like three farmers producing close to 40 tons. Yet a corporate has almost 30 members and cannot only 3 are producing. There are some questions which need to be answered. How comes a corporate has more than 30 members, but only 3 from the list you have shared are producing 19, 20, 30? Is it possible? Where are the other members?
Chair, it seems like it's like we are not together with the team, because the documents we are looking at, this document came from Kalamba. True? If they came from Kalamba and you have told us your primary role was to verify the consignment which was coming in, we would like to know from the officer who was verifying these farmers list, because the farmers list we are having here are the ones which have anomalies, and we want to establish why the anomalies are like what Mheshimiwa is reading, the difference in kgs from the weighbridge and what is written from the farmers list. Also, from the meeting which you had on 16th and the contract which you signed with the suppliers, that is the pre-qualified cooperatives, you said also that the cooperatives, they were zoned to buy mangoes in particular areas. And from here, you realize that there is a cooperative which was not allowed to buy mangoes in Emali Mulal, but they found its way to Emali and brought abnormal tonnages from one farm. So I want to believe, we want to know who verified those documents so that we can also share some of the the farmers list here, which we feel they were forged. Please.
Response on that as we progress?
Chairman, I think if we go back to the KCY 151, Chairman and members, from the records that we have here, stamped on 10, received on 10, it shows the net weight is 9,440. No, 440.
Yes.
9,440. Okay, is the net weight.
Yes.
Is the net weight, honorable members, for the KCY 151U. Yeah, that is what was received, and that is what formed the basis of payment. Then the other one, KCY 151U, received on 8th. It shows that the net weight is 9,980 kgs from our end. And the basis, and that tallies with the weighbridge report that we have in here.
Chairman, we are in agreement totally with him. This is my question. The document I'm holding and the document that gives access